Hi, my name is Brian Chase, Director of Digital Forensics here at Archer Hall, and today I want to talk to you about how cell tower data helped resolve a personal injury case. The case involved a rear-end collision on a highway outside of Phoenix, Arizona. The vehicle involved was owned by a company. The plaintiff sued the company that owned the vehicle for the collision. The problem, though, was that the driver of the vehicle fled the scene on foot. And the company says that the employee who had that vehicle was not driving it, that the vehicle was in fact stolen. So they were denying all liability for the crash. The plaintiff's attorney investigated. They hired us at Archer Hall to look into the case and analyze the cell tower data for the defendant's cell phone. When we got that data, we mapped it. And let's take a look at the map and so we can see what happened with this data. Here we see the map of where the collision occurred down here on the US 60 outside of Phoenix. We have the defendant's house on the map and this friend's house. The defendant's version of events, or the employee's version of events, was that he left his work vehicle at his friend's house the night before. He was drinking, so he took a cab or an Uber back to his house over here. And then he didn't leave his house the next morning. The vehicle was involved in a crash down here at the crash site at about 6:30 a.m. Police arrive on scene to investigate since the driver fled the scene. They call the company that owns the vehicle. They find out that the defendant was assigned that vehicle. They go to the defendant's house and he's there. So we look at the cell tower data. Right now, what we're seeing is the data at 6:24 a.m. So about 6 minutes or so before the crash. And you see the defendant's phone is hitting off of a tower right here near the friend's house. That would make perfect sense if he left his phone in his car the night before. But watch what happens when we animate the map to show the cell tower activity for the morning of the crash. We see there's all sorts of calls and text messages occurring right down here. And then there's a couple more up here, and then there's nothing for a while. This is while law enforcement is investigating, while they're trying to figure out who that vehicle was assigned to, and then they're going to his home. You'll start to see calls being made to the defendant, and there they are, right there at his home, and that's about when law enforcement is arriving to investigate. This map clearly shows that the defendant's phone was moving around that morning. And remember, his version of events was that he didn't leave his house. He was at home that morning. Can we say he was the driver of the vehicle? No, this data doesn't show us that he was the driver, but it is awfully suspicious. It shows him near this crash site right at the time of the crash, followed by a lot of phone calls occurring minutes after the crash. Then we see the phone kind of hitting off of a couple towers up here in this northern part of the map. And then we see the two towers that his phone is generally going to be using when he's at home. Not normally this tower over here. This clearly shows that the defendant's version of events is not what occurred that morning, and that he likely was the one driving that vehicle that was assigned to him and fleeing the vehicle on foot. Once this animation was produced, the case settled just a couple of weeks later. If you have cell tower data involved in a case, please give us a call. We'll be happy to map that data for you, show you how that data works, and talk to you about the limitations of cell tower data and where it is not helpful in cases. Thanks for watching. Bye.